If you've been trading or just even watching the markets long enough, you know one thing, and that is that no matter how much positivity due to anticipation there is in the market, it does not always mean that the price is going to do what, is anticipated by the majority of people. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that right now, right? So, right now, I'm not even going to look up the articles because we already know that the current mood in the market is that there is anticipation of progression in tariffs, right? Negotiations is anything that eases up the current situation, right? But that's what the majority are thinking. And everyone is thinking this. Even when we see not just in Bitcoin, but for example, like in the S&P, a nice rally going up to previous resistance, right? First warning sign, big gap, right? Moving average 120, which I believe the 120 moving average is a good median. Instead of having a ton of different moving averages, this one kind of is a good median between all of them. And this one is still pointing down. It can still come down, try to, short term weakness. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? We know that the VIX is falling, volatility is falling, and at any point it can spike up just a little bit, creating some short term fear to kind of flush, um, I would say like paper hand investors or just weak traders out of the market, right? And we're seeing this happen, or at least the beginning of it, right? So I'm going to show you guys what I'm personally am doing to set myself up for what I personally believe is going to happen, and from what my experience is trading for quite a bit now, right? So this is what I'm looking at. So we've seen Bitcoin come down aggressively due to tariff fears. Now these tariffs are still in play, and there's no guarantee that these anticipated positive tariff negotiations are going to happen. Nothing is official until it happens. Again, this is all just anticipation. We've seen the price come down and go into deep value below 80K 3 times. It bounced up perfectly from our support area down here. It didn't want to go much into it. Instead, it started rallying up higher. Ever since then, we were looking at new structures to break out of to continue our confidence that we're not going to go below 80K once again. So we broke this area. We filled it perfectly. We came down, and then we started trending up higher, right? During this time, we not just seen the price trend up higher aggressively, but we seen the price fill in our smaller micro next leg up area pretty well, where the price came up perfectly and is using the next major leg up area as a resistance currently, right? So what this tells us, at least from my experience and my own personal opinion, based on enough experience trading and being hurt and humbled by the market long enough, I learned that no matter how much positivity there is in the market, there's two kinds of people: the people that buy early and sell when everyone is getting greedy, and then that causes, for example, retracements to happen no matter how much positivity there is, because at any point the price has to balance itself out. It is not super sustainable to see um you know such a short-term time frame to be pushed up to the upside so much without seeing somewhat of a balancing happen. But in this case, it will be a retracement. So what I'm personally looking at is two things, but both of these things are going to lead to a specific point at the end, right? So the first point is that, okay, so this area here, which was made out by this next move up, because this move up broke this structure. We broke these resistances right here instead of moving up higher, right? At this point, the RSI, or not the RSI, the moving average would follow it higher, and the RSI will also continue to max itself out, like we've seen right here, right? During this time, when we started this next, fib extension area, we maxed it out quite well. We never broke below the 50 RSI, and we started maxing up even higher. So what this means is that now that our area right here in blue is filled very well, we're starting to see a little bit of a support, kind of ascending support line break, right? Where we tried respecting it, we went up higher. Instead of breaking this structure to go up higher, we start seeing the structure break a little bit, and we're trading below it just slightly at the moment. On top of that, the next leg up area, seems to be a little bit too aggressive for the short term aggressive move higher. That's why we're seeing the price struggle to go above it. At any point, I will not be surprised if we come down. This red area represents a proper retracement to come down and try to find support somewhere within this area. Again, this area, not again, but this area is mixing with the 120 moving average. At the same time, it's the reach again. If I can show you guys right now, it's from this point where the price broke up higher past this resistance area. This is the point, the lowest point before it happened, right? Because the indication is that we started moving up higher. So this entire area, we want to see the price come down and try to find support within this area. But we got to keep in mind that even though, and I'm gonna reiterate this support area down here as well, because I'm gonna make this one a different color. This is a cautious area for possibly building longs, but it's very possible the price can even come down to like 86K potentially. It is very, very possible because we have a lot of consolidation within this area, which can act as a magnet going into the future. And it also shows a proper retracement from this overall move up. Now, this overall move up, the only time I had a proper retracement was back here, where the price came down to fill in this imbalance area. Price came down, the only proper retracement that we had. Ever since then, the price has been holding high for too long. Now we have a lot of other imbalances down here, which this one overlaps with this support area, and then this one down here overlaps with this support area. So we know that, and this happened many, many times in the past, that no matter how much optimism there is, retracements have to happen, and this can happen at any moment. Now that's the first thing, right? Is for us to just start moving down to these areas finally. Now the second thing is, so again, I'm very short term bearish on Bitcoin short term, right? I do believe we got to see a retracement. The Bitcoin really likes to flirt with the 120 moving average quite a bit. We've seen this happen for years, and we've been holding above it for a very long time. Ever since here, we broke above it, flirted with it, broke above it, held above it for a long time, had to flirt with it one more time. Now we are breaking above it, and at any point we can come down and start messing with that 120 moving average, right? So this can happen now, or it can happen very, very soon. I am not one to try to predict the market and I try to be right most of the time instead of right all the time, because again, I don't know exactly when the top will be, but if we start seeing signs of overextension or that we are potentially at or near a top, it's a good idea. And right now we are showing signs that we are either at or near a top. So we can either come down now or at any moment. So the second thing is that if you guys have been watching long enough, you know that I really like when prices have enough momentum to touch a fib area. So this green area is another like next leg of fib area. It had enough momentum to touch it, which means there may be enough momentum to push into it a little bit before we see a retracement happen. If a retracement were to happen, or not, if this price were to push into it a little bit more, I will follow it with this area, and then this will become our major area to look at for a retracement. So this area will keep following it, and this yellow area will keep following it as well. I do not believe the price will go below the red, though. I really don't believe it will go below the red, because we've seen discounted Bitcoin so much where to see this happen again, it would have to be that something crazy is happening. But I believe the worst is over, to be honest. We have enough evidence to say that, hey, it's very, very much possible. We have a lot of other previous resistance areas that can act as future resistance too. Like we have this one right here. We can easily see the price push up into this green. So a little bit of a one more high before we come down. It's very, very much possible, because again, we don't have a downtrend confirmed just yet. We have a lower high, but we have yet to make another lower low, right? So the price can easily come up, but it's going to be very, very cautious because FOMO is a real thing. And I know if this price breaks up any higher past the previous swing high right here, there's going to be a lot of FOMO, and a lot of people are going to be buying at very overextended prices. And again, like if you guys look at the RSI, we haven't seen the RSI max out to the bottom side in quite a bit. We've seen it max out to the upside twice in a row, attempt to bottom but failed, and it's trying to somewhat consolidate to see where it's going to go next. But regardless, we are still overextended in the short term. If this price were to continue to go up higher a little bit, I will most likely be looking at shorts rather than longs to come down into the retracement area. So again, what I said earlier was that both of these pathways end up at the same place. So rather we come down now or we come down a little bit later, but we'll be a little bit higher and then come down. It's just too, it happens quickly. It happens quickly. And both of these areas come to the same place. Rather we go into this area now before going up higher, or we go higher a little bit before coming down and then going up higher. So it just ends up in the same place, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that I am very short-term bearish, but I am very, I do believe we're going to see, I need to move this more to the right, but I do believe we're going to see much, much higher Bitcoin price this year, much higher. But for short-term trading, guys, you can't deny that we are very much overextended, and we got to see some retracements happen for a healthy setup, a healthy structure to push us even higher and not have any worries of like, where's the top at? Well, we gotta have those healthy retracements, right, to keep a healthy structure. We've seen this happen a lot. We've seen the price, have pause, healthy corrections, like right here. I'm gonna show you guys this real quick, right? We come up into this area, right? Look at this. Price comes down into a healthy retracement. Perfect. Next one. Price finds the bottom, goes up. Eventually, when it comes back down, it goes into the retracement area. Healthy. This one's a little bit more aggressive, but it found a bottom and it came down into the area before pushing up higher, right? It just happens. And then even it doesn't have to happen in the short term. Like, look at this, right? So this move right here from this low all the way to even the high, ever since here, we haven't seen a proper retracement. It hasn't happened. And then months go by. And then right here, we have a proper retracement after months. And then we have a new high, right? And then again, you retest it. Although this was unexpected due to fear, but unexpected, it happened, right? So even if it takes months, it can happen. We just have to keep following the price and adjusting retracement areas as needed. So until we reach these retracement areas, I am not going to be overly short-term bullish on Bitcoin, because we have enough evidence that prices like to balance itself out, and that's just something we have to keep an eye on, right? And then keep an eye on the VIX, because at any point it can spike up a little bit before we can continue going up higher. So you can spike a little bit, push it down a little bit, and then eventually it'll top out a little bit higher, and then come down. It's very, very, very much possible, guys. Just don't let FOMO be the reason for you to make a trade. Let it be purely based on, in my opinion, just based on structures. Rather they're overextended, rather they're oversold, anything, right? So yeah, hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.